Okay, hey guys, welcome back. We're doing another video, but this video here is different. My sister picked the topic and she's gonna explain why she felt the need to look up different surgeries and how people can be obsessed with having surgeries and not knowing when enough may be enough if you're harming yourself. So I'm gonna let her go into the video, so they're going to tell you and give you the topic. Let's go.
So this is day 5 post-op of my PBL. And I'm just going to tell you guys the experience. So this is my garment. I'm really swollen. Really swollen. And I got a BBL. I got my entire back liposuction. And pretty much everything is like blending together because I'm super swollen right now. I did get it done in Mexico and it was about $4,000 with a hospital stay and everything included except the garment. I had to buy that. So every single day is easier in some ways and it's harder in others. Like my swelling is pretty significant right now. And I still haven't gotten any feeling back in my skin where I got lipoed. But let me know if you guys have any more questions.
Okay, guys, we're back again with another video. And this time we're going to be talking about surgeries and people just having these different obsessions with it. But to go in more detail, well, first, before we do that, I have Jen and Juice here, my favorite, Neek, my sister. And what's going to happen now is Jen is going to give you guys the topic, I guess, and go more in detail with what we're going to be talking about, what's going on in social media, in real life, and people that we do know. Okay, Jen?
All right, so just to piggyback off of what Cynthia is saying, what we're talking about is more specifically body dysmorphic disorder. Now, if you don't know what body dysmorphic disorder is, it is a mental illness involving obsessive focus on a perceived flaw in appearance. People who have this disorder may frequently examine their appearance in the mirror, constantly compare their appearance with that of others, and avoid social situations or photos because they are they do not like a specific body part or something about themselves, so much so that it gives them anxiety or brings on depression and things like that. Now, these people usually have unwanted thoughts. They have compulsive behavior, and like I said, they usually have depression associated with that. Now, what we're seeing is a lot of people are going to plastic surgery to solve this problem that we think is stemming from social media.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that was just something
very good, Jen.
Yeah, that was good. That was definitely a good description of what it is. So basically I chose this topic, and I chose this topic based off of what I've been seeing recently. I was speaking to a friend of mine's, and, she was, just discussing certain things that she wanted to get done where I didn't see the same thing. And obviously everybody's, your personal, opinion about what you look like is obviously going to be personal, is what you want to look like, and that's fine. But I think when it starts to mess with your mental, or whether you're out with friends, you're having a good time, and you might see that girl with this body and it affects your whole mood, and it might, even mess up the rest of your night. Well, I feel bad about myself. I don't like how I look.
Yeah.
Or, whether it's a man and you see this guy, who look a certain type of way and you want that and you don't look that way, and it affects the way that you look when you're walking in the mall or walking around. So I thought of this topic because I was like, well, is this a real thing where, people are really have to have this much body dysmorphia, versus is majority of it stemming from, social media and, seeing not only celebrities these days, but, social media influencers, whether it's the Instagram models or whether it's the people that's on YouTube or whoever it might be, seeing these people, and it's like, who are we really comparing ourselves to when we're really getting this down about what we look like physically and the measures that we're willing to take to achieve this certain look, and where does it stop?
Yeah.
So that is what made me really think about this, because everybody has the same body these days. You go on Instagram, everybody has that Kim Kardashian look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where she was the only person when she first came out to look like how she looked. In the industry, and it's like now, from white to Spanish to black to whatever, everybody has the same goal, to look this like one way, and the perfect teeth, the perfect white teeth, the perfect straight smile, or whatever it is. I've seen people, taking out all of their good strong teeth to put veneers in, which is, not as ever going to be as strong as your real teeth. There's nothing stronger than your real teeth.
Yeah. And guys, sorry about the noise that you guys hear with the car, because we're in a very different location this time. But continue, Neek.
Yeah, but no, that was just explaining the reason why I chose this topic, because there was just certain things I was looking at and, thinking about. And that was just made me, wanted to know, and if you guys, know anything, or, drop it in the comments and see, like, well, I think that this is a real thing and people are really suffering with it. I don't think it has much to do with social media or whatever you guys might feel. But, that's what made me feel, choose this topic.
And it is, to me, it is a very good topic, because I think everybody is struggling with either something, or you want something done. Mm-hmm. Regardless, you don't want to be the one that don't have it. Not these days. Here, you want to be in crowd and not out. So let me ask you guys this. So, Jen, now, I know back in the day, like I said, I don't think, what do you, well, the question I'm trying to ask is this. Do you think that this is more so, it's like an obsession, or it's a disease? That saying, like, okay, you know what? I see everybody else with it. Like, okay, I was just looking at Country Wayne videos, and on his videos, I was just noticing all the girls are the same color. Now, I'm not, again, putting it out with light skin or anything, but all of them looked at mainly light skin now are mixed. I have not seen one female that maybe is a little darker or whatever. So when we say that, is that included too, or is it just I don't want to be left out with this?
I definitely think that it is something where I think every so often the beauty standards of the world in general changes, because back then it was, thin was in. If you were flat as a board, front and back, then, you were perceived as beautiful. And back then, everybody wanted this look because they didn't want to be left out. Yep. And now, it changed once again, where it's voluptuous, with the big boobs and the big butt. So everyone is running to that, where they want to be a part of that, big lips, I think all women, men, whoever want to be in that number. They want to be perceived as beautiful. No one wants to feel like, okay, well, I don't have this, so, that makes me ugly. And I think, unfortunately, that's how the world works.
Yes.
Even models, I feel like now, you have models that are more curvy, where in the past that was unheard of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think the idea of beauty is completely changed, and it is, an obsession with that, I think, to a certain point, because I feel like it's a rat race. Like you're constantly trying to get to this thing that can sometimes for some people be, unattainable, whether it be their body type, whether it be their metabolism, whatever it is, it can be unattainable, and it becomes an obsession. Now, I do think it's a little bit of both, where it's an obsession and a disease, because that obsession gets so bad to the point where you have this mental illness, where you have obsessive compulsive tendencies, because you've been so immersed in looking a certain way. You know, you may start dieting excessively where it's risking your health, or, you know, you just can't look at yourself in the mirror anymore because you just hate everything that you see.
Yeah.
Now that's a mental issue. Your obsession has now turned into a mental issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
So, yeah, and I also wanted to touch on, you know, this Instagram model who recently died. She was 29 years old. And from what I can see, you know, I don't know if you can insert some pictures or, you know, whatever, but she had the perfect body. She had previously had surgery, and she had, you know, no ways, perfect body from today's standards. I'll say that.
Okay.
Right? And the story is she got denied. She wanted to go under the knife again to have another BBL, Brazilian butt lift. If anyone doesn't know what that is, it's basically where you transfer fat from different parts of the body, mainly your stomach, and that fat is, and you know, injected into your butt. She wanted to have another surgery, and she was denied by 2 doctors. Saying that she wasn't a candidate for the surgery. And finally she found a doctor that agreed to have the surgery for her, and she ended up dying from, allegedly from, a fat embolism, and that's when the fat gets into your bloodstream and you end up dying from that. So
it wasn't her fat. It wasn't her fat that they used, or was it someone else's?
No, it was her fat.
Okay.
It was her fat that was used. But the main thing is, I think with that, is that she was denied twice, but still it was such a compulsion, and she was so obsessed with attaining something that she thought was perfection that she put her life in danger. After one doctor say that you can't do something, you'll feel like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But let alone 2 doctors, and you still move forward, you know, with that. I think that's a mental illness.
Absolutely. It is. So did the doctor that agreed to do it, was it an out of state doctor, or?
Yes. The doctor was, you know, from a different country. And, you know, a lot of times with the doctors out of the country, the regulations that they have to go by isn't as strict as it is here. So you do see a disproportionate amount of death occur out of country than it do in the United States in terms of cosmetic surgery, because a lot of times you have doctors that aren't board certified in plastic surgery, or they are regular doctors performing these cosmetic surgeries that they don't have the proper training to do.
Yeah.
You know, these things are specialties, and, you know, you have to be trained specifically for these things, you know, in order to perform them. So you see a lot of deaths because there aren't really a lot of restrictions.
Also, if you guys remember too, I don't know if you want to if this would even be in the same category. Remember when Tiny went over to out of country for her eyes, and then her daughter did the same thing and had trouble, and I think it was like, okay, she was going blind in one eye. Thank God that did not happen, because I think they put ink or something in eye. Was it like just something when you, okay, what I'm trying to say is this, you know, like if you see something, you're like, dang, I just want that, whether it's a tattoo, and you go and get it. Now with this girl here, did she die on the table? Because a lot of people die for the after, the aftercare part is what kills a lot of people. So was this on the table or after?
You know, they didn't really specifically say. I think for the most part it's still hush hush. Her family didn't officially come out and say anything. So I think I think that's mainly due to the manner of death, the way in which she died. So we're not really sure if it is during the surgery or the aftercare. But these things, they do happen a lot if, you know, and that's, you know, one of the most dangerous surgeries, the BBL, you know, and that is what everyone is running to. You know, most women are running to in terms of how they want to change their body to adjust to, you know, what's going on in the world right now in terms of what is considered beautiful.
Yeah, and I want to ask you this: could you blame anybody for wanting to have these surgeries. Now, I know that it goes a little deeper once the mental part comes in. But now, I know earlier you were saying that, your original teeth is the best because it's healthier, strong versus getting something else done. So now my question with you would be this: when do you say this is something I want to do to look better and feel better, and it really has nothing to do with, I'm insecure or I don't feel a certain way, or it's not a mental, but this is something I want to do because I see everybody else do it, so I want to do it. But then you do it, and now you start seeing other things that's like, okay, shoot, I did just get my stomach done. My thighs look like they could be a little tighter or something like that.
Right.
What part would you say, like, okay, becomes mentally that can break you down into now you're overly being just concerned with your body? You're looking in the mirror and you don't understand where this can lead to, because it has been a lot of deaths on that table with some women. I don't even know if you remember her name. I think her name was Bridget or some lady. She passed after so long. She was an Italian lady, and it used to be a show where she was getting her lips done, and she was older, getting her lips done, her breasts done, and it was back to back. I think she had like 10 or 20 surgeries. She looked at absolutely mess, and it ended up killing her.
Right.
So do you think like it's just one of those things? I know, like with your teeth, if you want to go to the dentist, I want a better smile.
But see, I think when it becomes excessive is when you start thinking about, okay, well, I gotta, like, if it's something that never really bothered you before, where you're naturally as adults, whatever, you don't want to walk around with, maybe your teeth not, done, or maybe if you have like that struggle stomach, that fat that won't go, or whatever it is, certain things that might just bother you, and you've done everything you can, or whatever it is to work out, or whatever it is, that stubborn, stomach fat won't leave. So certain people like, I'm gonna go get, a tummy tuck, or I'm gonna go get this, that, and the third, because everything else is pretty much, how I want it to look. It's just, my stomach. So if that's something like that, then I think that's fine. But when it becomes like, okay, well, now I have to get my legs done. Now I got to get this chin removed. Now I got to get, this and that and the third done. I do think you have to start looking in the mirror and trying to see like, okay, now it's more like something personal. It's more like, okay, you are finding everything wrong with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Versus just like, okay, I just need to fix this or that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But when it becomes like, okay, you have a problem with every single thing with your body, or 80% of your body, I do think that's like a body, dysmorphia, issue, where it's just like, okay, you want these things done because maybe you're comparing yourself to the people that you see on TV or on Instagram, or, whoever it is, because, it was different. I think a lot of us, for being out of high school, I think we kept that up with our weight. Okay. I think we did pretty good with how we look or whatever. But when you got millions of people that you have access to now, not just celebrities, because I mean, for the most part, if there was no social media, if we walking around looking at just, the people that we see from high school or wherever, I think we'll be proud of ourselves. But that's not what we have anymore. We're looking at, Instagram, and we want to look like celebrities. We want to look like what we see and holding our phones every 5 minutes. So I do think that social media has a lot to do with, and it controls our mental. I think that's the reason why a lot of people, fast from social media. They meditate more. They do certain things, because I do think after a while it can affect you in a negative way when you don't even realize that it's affecting you in a negative way.
I'm going to ask y'all this question too. Do y'all think that body dysmorphia affects people that are richer or have more access to money than it does people who don't? Or is it something where, although somebody don't have the money, they still can have it and still be obsessive over it? Do you think it's more one class over the other?
I think it's both. The reason why I say it's both, I think because nowadays It's not like back in the day where people didn't have the money, like, or you had to do all this stuff. People making payments. People are paying half of their income to get their body done. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people even make barely $20,000 or $30,000 a year.
And not saying anything now. We're in January. We know those taxes is going to be coming.
Yeah.
I've seen the specials.
Yeah.
I've seen these specials.
Tax specials. They literally label it tax specials.
Because they know. You know what I mean? So they make it easier for people to go and spend that money. And, you know, whether it's every year or, you know, we don't see it as quickly as people like, you know, not to name, but, you know, like the Lil Kims or, you know, the Tiny's or the whoever
Joan
it is.
Rivers was another
Yeah,
one.
Joan Rivers. You know, these people that's able to get this stuff done when they feel like getting, like, you know what, tomorrow when I heal up, I'm going to get this done too. Okay, I'm going to also get this done. Or what two things could I get done at the same time? You know what I mean? So, of course, it's a little bit different, but I do see, you know, girls that I know don't make a whole bunch of money. I see girls working at Dunkin' Donuts, not saying there's anything wrong with it, but, you know, I see girls getting their body done. They're working regular jobs where it's like, well, wow, you know, 2 and 3, you know, surgeries or whatever it is. And it's kind of like, well, wow, like, how are you able to afford, you know, something like this, you know, on, you know, a certain type of salary? I don't even care if you're a manager at wherever. How could you afford to have a surgery with this type of, that costs this type of money?
Well, you know,
more
not
than once?
well. Also, you know that it's not. They have the little locals where you're not gonna probably have the procedure done to where it looks like when you have to pay for the whole thing. As you know, as far as like a butt lift or a bigger butt, maybe $10,000 to $15,000. They're doing it locally for like $4,000 or $5,000. So, you know, you're just like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But my question is too, what I wanted to ask you guys, and I'm going to ask you this, Jen, okay, do you guys feel, which I personally feel this way, and I know that we try not to put, gender so much into things or the race. But when it comes down to us women, I do notice it's a lot of comparisons. Like, okay, you will see once you're in your 20s, is okay, yeah, you're youthful. Then you get in the 30s, 40s, you're darn 50. And it's like the world want to throw you away. Do you think people are running to it because this is what they're seeing? I know one time it was this guy, I think it was my trainer. He was like, he was on Facebook and he made a comment. He was like, you know, you women need to get like these younger women with working out. They're keeping up with themselves, blah, 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 whatever. And I posted, listen, wait a minute now. I work hard for my body each and every day to make sure I don't gain or try to do whatever, versus you're just coming out of high school, you're in your 20s, you already, it's given. You're gonna look like that, you know?
Right.
And what is so disturbing, and I don't think women know this, you're being compared to a child. You are a woman. Me personally, I am in my freaking 30s. I'm 36. And for me personally, you know, and this is not a brag, but I guess I might as well put it in there. I could catch any different age. It does not matter. Now, me, if you're going to compare me to somebody, you're going to compare me with somebody that I want to be compared to, a woman my age. In my age, don't compare me to no 20-year-old. My son is almost 20, you know, and I think it's unfair. But for women, what I'm trying to say, I think it is more pressure on women to still look a certain way, because you have men constantly talking about it. You got people constantly talking about it and not realizing now it could affect you mentally because you're concerned about it now. Like, no, I got to be looking like this.
And that's the reason why I think it's very important that, you know, you recognize when it's, you know, you're doing this thing compulsive or excessive, and you're doing it basically only for, you know, vain reasons. Because if that's the case, it's always going to be something where you could change. It's always going to be something that can be better. It's always going to be somebody that you see that, well, wow, I didn't know I can look like that. I want that too. You know what I mean? So it's very important to know why you're doing it and stay focused on that reason. If that's something that you want to do, I don't have, you know what I mean? I don't want to talk bad about surgeries or whatever, because there's nothing wrong with it. My thing is just, you know, with the whole body dysmorphia thing, where I felt like, well, wow, like, you know, just, you know, seeing somebody having a great time, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, a person can go from here to down here. It's kind of like, well, dang, is that, you know, that's not something that can be healthy. I don't feel like, you know, obviously you want certain things out of life, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because even, you know, I've been in a place where, you know, I wanted a certain type of car and I didn't get it yet. And I was like, well, dang, man, you know what I mean? You feel kind of bad about it, you know, but it's just, you know, I don't know. I just was just thinking like, wow, I mean, how much is this is actually, you know, something that a person just really, really wants or whatever, compared to how much of it is, you know, social media disease is what I'll call it.
So, wait, now, I wanted to ask Jen something really quick. So, Jen, let me ask you this. If, just because we want to separate it, so, like, you know, like you just said, we're not saying nothing is wrong with surgeries at all.
No, nothing
if you
wrong.
see something you don't like about yourself, I am so for fix it. But the question is that I'm finna ask you, Jen, do you feel like, okay, if just to say, okay, darling, you know what, I want hair implants, and you find something that you don't like about yourself, you're not in the category of this dysmorphia thing. It's just, it's just innocent. But do you think that you get a procedure done and you have to look in the mirror and you look at how great you look now, so you have to kind of now want to that area, because of course you don't see it like, okay, if you was exercising, everything is going to get good. But if you go to a surgeon, you see, okay, you got your stomach flat, you're going to now start looking at other areas. Do you feel like maybe this is what's happening? Like you see an area, now you want to get the area done just because that area looks so much better, but it ends up turning into like this mental thing?
Of course, I think it can definitely present itself like that, where you just like, okay, I'm just gonna get a little nip and tuck here, and then after that, it's that immediate gratification that we are constantly searching for. It's like a drug. I didn't have to work hard. I didn't have to sweat and, you know, almost die at the gym for this, or you know, this, you know, say for instance it's your boob, something that, you know, you can't get at the gym. You always had a problem with having a flat chest, or you feel like your boobs are too big. You can go in and within a few hours you come out with the perfect breasts and things like that. I think those things are fueled by, you know, our brain. Like, this is like a drug. I was able to go in and come out like this, and, you know, now everything is perfect. So it does lead to, you know, more and more surgery. And let's face it, I think, you know, this thing doesn't only stem from social media, but it stems from like the real world. Like, say for instance, you have two different people going for a job interview. 9 times out of 10, the person that looks better, in terms of their body, they're more fit, you know, they come in there, you know, looking more, you know, I guess presentable, whatever, they're going to get the job, as opposed to somebody who doesn't, because everyone is obsessed about this look. So, and this look is equated to success. If you don't look like this, then you're not successful. Then you can't do the job. Then, you know, you can't, you know, show up, I guess. I don't know. But these things, it's just not even a social media thing anymore. It's a social media thing. It's a real life thing. It's just everybody is obsessed with perfection. You have from kids 16, or I'll go down to even say 12, 11, when, you know, you just start getting to know your body and who you know your body and who you are and things like that, to people in their 50s and 60s. You look at somebody like Kanye West's mom. She was well in her, I don't know, like she was
in her 50s.
You know, going under the knife, and, you know, it's unfortunate what happened to her, but you got to kind of wonder what type of pressures was she under, you know, just personally, to feel like she has to look a certain way. You know, aging is something that happens naturally. It's going to happen to all of us. But for, you know, someone to feel like, you know what, no, I don't want this, you know, I need to reverse the clock. I'm sure doctors are going to, you know, tell you the risks by being older, to have elective surgery, and to still move forward with that. It makes you feel like, okay, what was this person dealing with, or what were they thinking to do something like that. This is something that I feel like transcends age. Young or old people are doing it. It's no age limit on it. It transcends sex. Men and women are doing it. You know, this was something that mostly women would do because it's so much pressure, like you said, on women to look a certain way. But now we see men, you know, going
they're
under
doing
the
it.
knife, getting, you know, fake abs and fake chests, and
because I think Savari from Love and Hip Hop said he got his hair.
Yeah,
the hairline done and different things.
Yeah, him, Tiger, and Tory Lanez, all of them got hair implants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, this thing transcends so many different areas.
I also wanted to say this. Now, I don't know what area nobody else stays in, but here in Florida, and I'm just being honest, where I stay, I don't see anybody looking like the people I see.
You gotta go to Miami. You gotta go to Miami.
Yeah.
I went to Miami and I absolutely understood why people felt the way that they do.
Well, no, that's what I was just gonna say. Like, okay, in you know where I'm at, I don't see it, but I do know when we did go to Miami, I was blown away. I was shocked. I was just like, okay, well, wait, hold up. Now I see in Miami, if you go, and honestly, you know, I went there not even knowing, because, you know, you have confidence regardless. But I went there like, yeah, you know, shoot, I'm about to shut this script down. And once we got out and we was on the script, I said, no, there's no shutting down. I'm going to do it. You know, I'm unprepared. I didn't even come prepared for this. Yeah. I mean, and I still remember this girl's body and what she had on. And mind you, this was like last year or two. This girl had a lime green bodysuit, just banging. And I had turned around and I did a double take because I said, oh my God, I wonder if somebody's filming. I thought somebody was filming, and I thought we was on one of those shows. And I'm just like, okay. So basically, honestly, and I'm going to be honest, I felt like I was ugly. And I felt like I was ugly because I felt like and now I see why people do it, because it's just like, you don't fit in. Don't go in there thinking like, you know, there's different, like Cat Williams said, okay, you got your Bentley. Don't think because you got that Chrysler 300, it's a Bentley. You know what it is as soon as you pull to the side, like the features are it's not the same. We're not the same at all. And I see from in Miami, if somebody do look that way, you go looking at you and say, well, you know, this probably ain't nothing to get. Maybe I can get a little breast or get something, because honestly, I wasn't it that night.
Yeah, no.
I thought I was.
And like I said, you know, you notice a difference. So I can only imagine actually being in the industry, or actually, you know, being on, you know, you don't even have to be in the industry these days, but actually having a social media presence, just period. Yeah. You know, the pressures of that, I can only imagine. I just, you know, would just hope that everybody would just do it in a healthier way. Because like I said, I went to Miami and I knew immediately. I was like, oh, I gotta come back and I gotta be better prepared than I am today, because I wasn't prepared for it.
Because I honestly, when I went, I wanted to change my credit score. I wanted to change the vehicle, the house, and everything, and get prepared, because I didn't feel like I was there.
I put on my clothes, and I felt, and I always dress nice or whatever. And I felt pretty confident. And I had on crispy white forces and, you know, nice jeans and everything. Yeah, I felt good. Yeah. I mean, but when I got in there, I'm like, oh. Okay.
Not saying anything, guys, with TJ Maxx, Marshalls, or anything else, but it didn't make it feel like he had on a whole TJ Maxx or Ross outfit.
I felt very bad about what I had on. Me and Jen, we was at the mall together. Me and Jen was at the mall together, and we were talking about it the entire time. He was like, you know, we look like crap today.
You can tell where we're from.
Yeah. And mind you, guys, this is not, you know, Neek and Jen, they are great. What I say, great dresses, look good. So, which their Instagram is at the bottom, and also their YouTube channel, and they dress good all the time and always on point. But compared to surgery bodies and you being regular, it's a disadvantage. I felt like it's a disadvantage. I didn't feel the same.
It is. And you know what's so crazy? I was like, yo, like, I can see what comparing yourselves to other people looks like and feels like, and you know, it wasn't on a surgery tip or whatever, but I can only imagine that happened. Because, you know, what I did was I went and ordered, and I'm not going to lie, I went and I ordered some clothes offline. I gotta get myself together because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But, I can see, you know, how people can think and feel it, but you know, just, you know, clothes and stuff is just something, it's something simple. So you order it and that's that. But I can only imagine somebody that might have a problem with their bodies or whatever, and how that, you know, transcends times 10 when you're looking at somebody, you know, mind you, the people also had great bodies up there as well.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking at that and it's like, well, you know, I'm pretty sure that even can make somebody who wants a surgery or whatever, can also make them feel bad. Like, no, I definitely have to go get it done now. Like,
yeah.
Because you're looking at how you might have on one outfit and how it fits on somebody else, and it's just like, well, dang.
The exact same outfit,
right?
It's completely different just
on somebody because of that. But it's
different.
just, you know, doing it in a healthy way, making sure that you're being nice to yourself, you're being positive, you're speaking positive in your mind. When you talk to yourself, you talk to about yourself nicely, because these things, you know, it's going to always be there, especially now. We're only getting bigger as far as social media is concerned. And not only social media, just with whatever it is. And I feel like definitely social media has a big part to play on the way people get completely dressed just to go to the mall. People was designer down and everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with being able to pull your phone out and record your on your story.
And also, guys, you know, we're gonna be cutting it short in a second, going to part 2 of this. But also, I wanted to say this, just like I was looking at Jasmine Sullivan, I love her.
Oh, yeah.
And to see, and to see the comments that I seen, oh my God, what is wrong with her? She's doing too much this. And when she was a little heavier, she always looked it so beautiful in the face. And now that she's lost the weight, now it's a problem. So it's kind of like, well, dang, you know, obviously she felt like now is the time. I have to start losing the weight, even though I know she said her mom has cancer. So she really started to work on that. In spite of what it was, was a bunch of people that said she looked amazing, but it also was just as many that was trying, oh my God, what happened to her? Oh, she got this, and it's like, what?
But then you can never please people. And that's the one reason why I always tell people, man, make sure you're doing it for yourself. Don't compare yourself to nobody. And I've said this 100 times throughout this video because I truly mean it. Because people would definitely tear you down. You look at somebody like her, they talked about her about when she had weight. Now she loses the weight. Now they say, oh, well, where's the weight?
That's the same thing with Lizzo. You know, people talk about her because, you know, she's a bigger girl and she's very confident, which I love. She's very, you know, no holds barred. She's going to do what she wants whenever she wants, and she's not going to let her body be an excuse for her to, you know, whatever. She recently, you know, it was a thing about her and, oh, well, why is she trying to lose weight so drastically and this, that, and the third? But you guys were just talking about her being so big.
Yeah.
But when it's something where she's trying to better her health and she's eating a certain way for her health, now it's, oh, and she's trying to lose weight. I think these people, if you listen, if she's a she's a celebrity or whatever, and you feed into that, that kind of like makes you, I don't know if it can bring on that body dysmorphia, but it's like you kind of feel like, okay, do I have to look this certain way for me to be accepted, you know, because I'm big and they talking about me, you know, so you want to lose the weight or whatever, and then when you do that, it's another problem, you know? It's a lot mentally. Yeah. You know?
So what we're gonna do, because we will too, like I said, every topic that we do come up with, guys, it is things that we either feel in our heart or we do a research on, and it is everything, like we say, this year here is about being alert, aware, gaining your confidence, getting it back, but just understanding you are not alone. And once you know that everybody else think the same way, you actually feel better. Like, I ain't the only one that's going through this. So that's what we're gonna do. And like I said, we're going to do a part 2 in this, and we're gonna close it out. Jen, you have something to say?
I just have something to say to those who do feel like they have to change something. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of pressure right now with, you know, the way you look. If it's something that you feel like you want to change, just make sure that you're doing it for you, because the second you get it changed, something else is going to come out. And now you're stuck with something that you're just constantly following a trend. So I think do whatever makes you happy. Just make sure you're the reason why you're doing it.
I agree. Neek?
Yeah, and I agree like what Jen said. Just make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. If you do want to get certain things done to your body or whatever, make sure for one, and most importantly, you're doing it in a healthy way. You're making sure that you're going to a doctor that you have, you know, good reviews on, and you've checked these things out to where that you're getting it done in the most healthiest way possible. And two, you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it because it's something that you just want to change. And it's not because you've seen Kim Kardashian do it or Beyonce did it, whoever did it, because these things are always going to change. Like Jen said, you know, what, you know, beauty is determined. It was always going to change within, 10 years, you know, big and voluptuous might not be what might be in. They'll change it back to, you know, small and thin again. So just make sure you're doing it because that's what you feel you need for your body.
Exactly. And, I totally agree. And just like Neek and Jen did say, please, guys, if you are considering going, I don't care if it's your teeth, want to have surgery, please listen to your doctor if they're thinking that, okay, you know what, you can't do something or you need to wait, then wait and don't do it. Just don't go and do it because you want it just that bad, and you end up causing your own self pain or even death. So it's nothing, it is nothing that serious. It's a lot of more other stuff way serious than I need to get my teeth fixed on my butt, my stomach, or have hair implants. Like, hey, you can get that done when it's time. So we're going to be out, and like, again, guys, we can't say it enough. We appreciate everything, all the comments. We're gaining more subscribers. We love that you guys love to watch us and hear what we gotta say. Everything will be down below, like I always say, Neek and Jen channel, as well as the Instagram and the email. Send us something, and thank you guys a million. We're really, really, really appreciate it, and we're out.